evening, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to the program. I am so happy to have you with me here today live over on Rumble and Locals. If you're a viewer on YouTube, get over to Rumble, get over to Locals, watch this stuff. I have to edit a hell of a lot of stuff out of my YouTube ones anymore, so if you really would like the fun experience, join us on one of the alternative sites. Links are usually down below. My subtitle for this video, let me pull it up here. At least what I've got so far is you can see the moment the light leaves her eyes and the soul leaves her body. And when I was watching this video of her during this documentary, that's what I said to myself. I said, right there, boom, she is now a zombie. She's literally a walking, breathing, warm body that's friendly and nice and maybe attractive to some people, but she is a zombie on the inside because she's completely died. The soul has left the body. And I said, well, with that headline, it might sound like she actually passed away and is no longer among the living. You don't want to put out, I don't at least put out clickbait subtitles out there. And then I thought about it. I'm like, her soul really did leave the body. She is dead inside. And I personally think this is more risky to men, because if somebody's no longer among the living, you put them in the ground and you forget about them. This woman is probably going to try to marry somebody someday. She's probably going to have children someday. And that is more dangerous than if she'd actually expired during this stupid stunt of hers. So in many ways, I think this is a very accurate sub-headline. This is Lily Phillips. Now, the story originally came to me because somebody said, oh, this girl, this star, will attempt to hook up with 1,000 men in one day, and it's sparking health concerns from doctors. And many of you guys shared this story with me and said, hey, talk about this. She's supposedly doing this in February. Well, in the meantime, for training, she hooked up with 100 dudes in 24 hours, and it broke her. Not physically, but it broke her soul. She is now no longer among the living. She is a zombie. I'm not going to read this story, but I want to read the headline for you. I actually have the video. I edited it. Not the video you guys are probably going to watch later. The documentary about how this was for her. That's the point we're going to talk about today, because the damage, she experienced a 9.5 magnitude earthquake on the Richter scale. Like, it just completely destroyed her. But what happens if women are doing this, but they're doing it 1 or 2 a week with hookups at the bar, or 30 in a year, or 20 in a year in their college years? It still leaches the life from them, just much slower, and you don't get to actually see the train wreck in real time. This is why it doesn't matter if she's got all this experience at satisfying men, and she's beautiful and physically attractive, and none of that matters to the vast majority of men. The guy that did this documentary, Josh Pieters, he's a video creator. He's got about 250,000 followers on X. So I edited this a little bit. I chopped down the 47 minutes down to about 6 minutes. We're going to play this, and this is a warning to you guys, okay? I posted a statistic the other day on my X account where I said, statistically right now, only 1 out of 30 women are virgins on their wedding day. That's 3% of women. So to the whole no hymen, no diamond guys, good luck to you, because that's 3% of all women. Now you take away the fatties and the blue hairs and the weirdos and the crazy ones, and you're probably 1 out of 100. So that's off the table. So if that's off the table, you got to know what damage happens to these women when they start getting buck wild. And the numbers of women getting buck wild are crazy. And we all know they lie about the numbers. You want to know a woman's real count, like multiply it by 3 and add 15. We joke about that, but for a reason. So this is the extreme end of damage. And we'll go through this. I sped it up by 25% so we could chew through this. So this is actually about 10 minutes. But I want you guys to hear this stuff.
I'm Lily Phillips, and today I'm getting run through by 100 guys.
Lily Phillips, a 23-year-old only star living in London who describes herself as an English was planning on hosting an event where she would sleep with 100 of her fans in a single day.
Last week I was like 23 guys all at once, and like some people would be like, you're insane, like I would have to be paid to do that. And I'm like, no, that's just fun to me.
Okay, I want to pause here first. I'm going to be pausing this a lot. Like I said, I'll leave the links down below if you want to watch the whole thing. She just did 23 dudes last week. Now, someone pointed out on the Twitter short screen that we were talking about, someone pointed out in one of the photos she has a herpes bump on her lip. Of course she does. If you're going to be hooking up, and she admitted, I didn't put it in this cut, she admitted that she didn't use protection with all acts that she did. Now, she required these guys to get STI tests, but as you guys know, some of the things do not show up on tests, i.e. herpes and stuff like that, the gift that keeps giving. And something like 40 or 50% of people have it. So if you don't have it, you're definitely going to have it after being with her. Now, the key thing that she says in this, it's my fantasy. It is my fantasy. And I'm gonna play that again because again this is a breakdown video.
Like, you're insane, like I would have to be paid to do that. And I'm like, no, that's just fun to me.
It's just fun to me. That's her exact words. Now later on when they're talking about the 100 dudes, she's gonna say it's my fantasy. How many times do we hear women say it is my fantasy, or it's what I want to do, or it's I know what I'm doing, leave me alone? It's my fantasy to do this. It's my dream to hook up with hot guys off Tinder. It's, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do all the things. Don't oppress me. Don't hold me back. I'm strong, independent woman. Hear me roar. Again, we're doing the buildup because this is all the crap she said before the incident, which is very telling.
Would you call yourself a businesswoman?
I don't know about that. People would give me a bit of stick if I said I was a businesswoman, but I guess definitely business-minded.
I would call you a businesswoman.
Thanks. A lot more people would use the word just...
How does that make you feel?
Oh, I've never really cared what people think. It doesn't really bother me. I have such a supportive family and friends, and what they think about me is so much more important than what strangers think about me.
So how many people are there in Team Lily?
8, 9?
There's 9?
I don't know. Yeah, quite a...
I think we're on 9 now.
Yeah, 9 now, yeah.
9 payroll members of staff?
Yeah.
You are a businesswoman. I've seen you say on podcasts and things before that your family and your parents are proud of you and what you've achieved.
Well, my parents knew straight from the start, like, about what I was doing. Yeah, I was just very open with it. Obviously, at the start, they were a bit apprehensive.
I'm going to pause here for a second. So first of all, like I've said many times, these only full content creators, they have staff. She has a staff of 8 or 9 people. They do the marketing. They reply to texts. They reply to videos. They send out information. You're not actually engaging with the content creator. So all of the idiots that are out there that are thinking they're talking with her, or they're getting sent a unique or special thing because they donated $100 or $500 or whatever, it's a scam and a sham. She's got a staff of 8 or 9, so many she doesn't even know. She says 8, and one of her coworkers that she employs says, actually, we're up to 9 now. It's a business. She's not even in charge of some of the staff that's getting hired. It's a scam and a business, number one. Number two, she says she doesn't care what people think of her. This is why we need to bring back shaming. Because she surrounded herself with yes people, because I don't know how much money she's making, but it's probably very good if she's doing these crazy stunts. She's paying these people salary. Of course they're going to say, this is a good thing, that you should keep doing this. You're their boss. You're their breadwinner. So of course they're going to be supportive of you destroying your own life. And number 3, she says, I want my family to be proud of me. They know what I do. And they're supportive. Are they, though? Are they? Are they? That's my question. Because either A, they're not, and they're just trying to be supportive, and they're one of those tree-hugging hippie families that are just like, you do you, and if it works out for you, great, and good luck to you. They don't love you. They're not looking out for your best interests. Number two, they don't really care about you. They're hoping you keep making this money and maybe buy them a nice car or pay off their mortgage. Or number three, they're horrible people. That's just really what this boils down to. You know, that they're horrible people. My mom knows that I do YouTube videos, and occasionally she checked in and saw what I was talking about. And she even sat me down one time and said, couldn't you just say something nice about, you know, women? Couldn't you do a video about how women are nice? And I was like, Mom, the news does that. Social media does that. Commercials do that. Movies do that. I'm the counter voice. And she's like, okay, I kind of get it. My mom knows what I do. Now, was she proud of what I do? I don't know. But she's I don't even know if she's supportive, but she at least, you know, I do what I do. But if you're actually doing something detrimental, my parents would certainly tell me. If mom's going to ask me to do something nice for women, I mean, you know, my mom's old school. That's why she does that. But if your parents really care, would you let your daughter do this? Would you let your sister do this? Or would you shame them or disown them or realize I did a horrible job of raising my kid? That's the way I would feel. So she surrounds herself with yes men. Everything's hunky-dory and bubbly up to this point.
Because they want me to be safe and
Yeah.
they want me to make good decisions and stuff like that.
Okay, I put this in. Because of the notifications. Do you want to know what it's like being a woman trying to hook up? Okay, we hear all the time from women, men rule the world and men have it easy and men have all the advantages. I want any of you guys, other than perhaps the guy that just went out, Luigi there, the guy that just went out and ended the CEO. I've got an update on that at the end of this I'll do. For yesterday's story about the guy that went out and ended the CEO. The women are coming out of the woodworks already drooling over him. We knew that would happen. But anyway, can you imagine going on a social media or a website or posting a number, hey, women, how would you like to hook up with me, 100 women with me at one time? Not me. I mean, a good-looking guy. Henry Cavill, right? Except Henry Cavill's a nobody. You don't know, he's not a movie star, because that would probably happen. Look at the texts and messages coming in the moment she made public the phone number for guys to sign up to hook up with her. This is what women's phones look like, hot women's phones look like on Friday night, which is why you never get a message back. Look at this insanity.
This is where the applications are coming through.
Where the guys are messaging. I had it switched off for a little bit, so it's just...
So how are you doing this? You put out a phone number
Yeah.
and people can just apply?
Yeah, so I put out a little Twitter post, and all you do always have to...
Imagine that. I genuinely mean that. She put this out. This looks like it was September 25th. She puts this out, and instantly, the moment she releases it, and you know what? These might be messages that are still incoming. I don't know when he filmed this documentary. Her phone just might, like, she might just have to go in and turn off that phone. She might have to just power off the phone, leave it for a couple days, and then probably what she did is she turned it on, and all her iMessages are coming in from that specific, because it's not going to be her personal phone. And all these messages are pouring in. Just, I mean, you can't even keep up with it. Look at that.
You put out a phone number.
Yeah.
And people can just...
And that says Tuesday of 8th of October is what it says on her screen. And then we flash forward to here, and this is from September 25th, and the whole screen's just September 25th. She's just, it's nonstop. She's probably gotten tens, if not hundreds of thousands of offers. And women, but women have it hard in meeting good men, remember? I'm not saying these are good men, but you know what I mean.
Send in a photo of you holding your ID. So this guy's from Belgium. He is 32. Oh, he's from Barbados. Jesus. We're going global.
Is this just going to be completely random as to how you pick them?
Yeah. Like we said, we prioritize the ones who have STI checks.
Okay, so Out of curiosity, I will go ahead and admit this. I watched about 3. I just skipped through the video that was leaked, and I jumped through because I'm not watching that crap. But I did jump through a little bit because I wanted to see kind of what was going on with this thing. I got to tell you, there were a lot of guys that looked to be out of shape. I think she did just pick rando dudes, like the dudes next door. They weren't all Chad Chaddington or Tyrone Thunderstroke, which surprised me. She genuinely just hooked up with kind of some normal guys. But again, this goes to show you that sometimes women will let go of their standards for money. They'll let go of only sleeping with the best of the best men if they think they can make some good cash out of this. And part of her deal is being on OnlyFools, which is giving the impression that someday you might get her. What better way to advertise that than put yourself with some average-looking blokes, which is what she did. I was genuinely surprised over that.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'm nervous for is like for them to have a good time. I want to make sure they enjoy themselves and don't come away from it like, oh, I feel disgusted or that wasn't fun.
She was worried about them participating, and she's worried that they're going to walk away feeling disgusted. Spoiler alert, they're not the ones that felt disgusted afterwards.
2006.
Oh my God,
So
how
what's
does that make him? So 18?
18, yeah. I mean, he does look 18, doesn't he? Hey there, I know I'm late, but would love to you and lose my virginity.
You've obviously spoken to your parents about this, right?
I actually haven't. My parents know what I do, but I'm not on the phone to them every day going, oh, you know, I just got DPE'd, I'm 17 guys today, or this and that. They don't need to know the logistics.
Of course.
I do feel a little bit like embarrassed being like, Mom and Dad, I'm 100 guys.
Why?
I guess because it's not really what my parents would have wanted me to do.
Okay, so now we get a little bit more truth out of it. More than likely, she told her parents, I post videos and I post I post pictures online, and I get tipped for doing that. Because she said, they know what I do. But do they, though? Do they really know what you're doing if you don't tell them what you're doing? Do you see what I'm saying? And then when asked, well, why don't you tell them? Well, I don't think they'd like that very much. Okay, now we have some truth coming out finally.
Doesn't mean to say my parents are like going to disown me or hate me or anything like that. I just don't want them to think less of me.
Spoiler alert, they do. So now it sounds like it's less about them being supportive and it's more about them putting up with it. That's what it sounds like to me. So again, you know, don't watch what they say, watch what they do. So she's not telling her parents she's doing all these, you know, multiple dudes at the same time because she doesn't want them to think less of her. So she's lying to her parents. And that means she's lying to us about how her parents and her friends all support this. See, they always twist things to make it able so they can sleep at night. And when I mean they, I mean women and their promiscuity and their lies and their gaslighting and everything else.
You know?
I had a sinking feeling that perhaps Lily hadn't fully thought through the challenge she was undertaking, but maybe I was wrong and everything was under control. After all, Lily and her team seemed very relaxed about her mission. So relaxed that she squeezed in another job the night before.
I wanted to play that too. So here the day before she hooks up with 100 dudes, she takes a job. Now remember, this isn't a job. For her, it's fun and it's a fantasy. But he's saying she said she had a job. A job is work. Work is something that you may or may not enjoy doing, but you show up and get paid for. This is a job for her. So sleeping with people and letting them basically use her like a gym sock until the job is done, they admit it's a job. She admits it's a job and it's work and she's got employees. How healthy an individual is this? Well, we're coming up on that.
In Newcastle.
Okay, so this is a smash cut because they had another half an hour of stuff in here that nobody cares about. This is her literally right after the whole 100 dudes, right after apparently she took a shower and she changed, and now she's coming out into the living room with all her supportive friends and her staff that helped line up the guys and get this whole thing. And here's where the rubber hits the road.
Lily offered to show me the aftermath of their stunt.
Oh, it stinks.
What does it smell like?
Like, brace yourself. Brace yourself.
Oh, holy shit.
I guess you actually gagged.
The cameraman just gagged. That's how gross this entire room, the room, the view, the mess, the smell. It's so bad that the cameraman that wasn't even involved in this gagged. He goes, ugh, almost puked. Do you want this woman? Do you want to sleep with her? Do you want her to be the mother of your children? Do you want to date her? Do you want to shake hands with her? Do you want to be anywhere where her breathing could mingle with the air you breathe? I don't know about you, but my answer is no. That'd be a hard no on that one, son.
I guess you actually gagged. Is that real?
Yeah, he's not good with smells.
Lily then walked us through the process that she had repeated 100 times that day.
Now, needless to say, I cut that out as well.
How are you feeling?
Okay, so here we get to the aftermath. Here we get to the devastation. Here we get to the truth of the matter. Now, there are certain segments of this that I clipped from the original video and I zoomed in on her face. So this isn't the cameraman or the documentary zooming in and out of her face. It's me. Because you can see the moment that she realizes her soul has left her body.
Surprisingly, downstairs is not really sore.
Okay.
It's more just tired. My eyes sting like nothing else.
Why?
Because of all the, I think I repeat.
Okay, I had to cut this out again for editing. Her eyes were stinging because one of the places she allowed men to finish the race, as it were, was on her face. Now, she said she did during the actual, how can I phrase this and keep it family friendly enough that the YouTubers can understand what's going on. She said when she was warming up the gentleman, she allowed them to be all natural. But when it came down to actual getting the job, like getting into the action, she made them wrap it up. But then, after that, when they were getting to the finish line, she allowed them to unwrap things and park their cars on her face, if you understand what I'm saying. Well, you might be protected to some degree from STIs and all that. I don't think this video is going to make it to YouTube. I'm going to have to edit this so much. YouTubers, if you're completely confused, go to Rumble or Locals. That's all I'm saying. But nonetheless, if you still have something and you're putting cups of that, various dudes are putting cups of that on the face, what are the odds that now she has something that got in her mouth? If you watch the video, there's just, all I'm saying is whatever she says she's making safe, she's not making safe. There was nothing safe about any of this. I'll just leave it at that. But now you're going to get stuff in eyes and you're going to get, and now her eyes are burning afterwards because of the toothpaste that she got in her eyes. What value does somebody like this have to men or society? Genuine question. She now has one value to men forever, unless the men are stupid, which they are, because the average, I don't know what the average IQ is, but there's 50% of people below that. She'll find some mouth breather loser that'll be happy to probably wife her up and give her kids. But to real men, to men that have morals and standings, and to what value does she have to men? Because in all honesty, even men that says she's young, she's pretty, and I'd sleep with her, I think she's gone to the point now where even the vast majority of sensible men say, I don't want to sleep with somebody like this. Like, I don't want to touch this person. I do not, no, just no. And now she's valuable to what, 1, 5, 10% of men? I just do not understand. Like, you've made yourself so unattractive and gross that the only men you will attract are men that literally want to use you for a gym sock and men that don't even care about their own health. I don't know what slim percentage of the population that is, but it's very low. I can tell you that.
They said, you come on my face, but not in my eye.
And they just went right at the eyes.
Well, I think like it might have been an accident. But no, I mean, I've definitely seen some spunk today, Jesus. And it just took definitely a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I think it was when it was only like 4.
Okay, so here's when the realization starts coming home about what she's done. And she even admits basically she just turned off and turned into a robot. Dead bedroom married men. Listen carefully. This is what, not that your wife got here for the same reasons, but I'm saying when women check out, that's why guys are like, she's like, it's like Patrick Starfish. She's just doing the starfish in the bed. She's there physically, but she's not interested. She tells me to hurry up. I don't want to be here anymore. That's where she is now. And even that gets worse in 3 minutes from now.
14, I was like, I'm not even halfway yet.
Yeah.
And 40 is still a lot of people. Like, imagine 40 people and be like, I'm not even halfway, like, done.
When was the last time you ate?
I had I think I had a yum yum. Yum yum, is that what they're called? A little pastry. And I think I had a sandwich, and that was kind of, and then the rest come. It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard.
Now she's tearing up right here.
I don't know if I'd recommend it. Give you a different.
She's tearing up right here. That's why I zoomed in on her face, because when she says it's not for the weak girls, she starts realizing what's happening.
It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Give you a different type of girl. It's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like, it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
It's not like just having sex with someone.
yeah. Just one in, one out. Like, it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
All the breath, and I'll let her finish crying, but that's the reality of this. You know, I get a lot of crap because I come out here and I do videos like this. And some women, some feminists, YouTube was one of them. They try to put down channels like mine because we do content like this. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, these guys are awesome because they used her. I'm not sitting here saying this is funny. I sit here saying this is destroying people. This is destroying humanity. This is destroying society, giving women agency to do whatever they want, and they realize they can make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars doing this. This is why we shame them. This is why we keep telling them we don't want to marry them. This is why we keep telling them they're useless to us. If we were the bad guys, if we were the baddies, we would say, oh, I wish all women were like this. I wish all women would let me get my rocks off on them like this, and then I wouldn't have to talk to them or interact with them. I could just use them like a piece of meat and throw them out by the side of the road like a dirty gym sock. There are some guys out there that would get a laugh and say, I'm fine with that. But I don't think that's default nature for most men, especially men that that grew up liking women and wanting one for a wife and wanting to have a family and wanting to have a beautiful, attractive woman for themselves and not society. And things are getting so twisted around now that if you originally wanted those things and you still do under today's guidelines, that's not simp behavior, but it's a mentality and a behavior that no longer fits in with society today in many cases. I'd say in most cases. And that's why we talk about divorce and marriage and cheating and all the other things, because we're warning you that the odds are forever against you. And yes, there are guys out here that are cheering this on, but I tell you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I tell you, I don't want women doing this. I don't care about her individually. If she wants to destroy her stupid life for, I don't know, her quote-unquote fantasies and her money or whatever, I don't care. Do it. More power to you. But I keep showing the results of this because I want society to get better, to be better. Because right now, the way it is, we're falling off a cliff. There are 80% of men that will never date, that'll never have a girlfriend that won't cheat on them, that'll never get married and stay married without a woman divorcing them and taking their kids. All of that lays at the feet of, well, not all of it. The vast majority of good men who have bad things happen to them is because of bad women. And bad women exist because of this crap. Of the empowerment and feminism, and I can do whatever I want, and I can sleep with all the bad boys, but someday I'll still find that 6-foot-tall Chad Thunderstroke provider. No, you won't, and we keep telling them this, and they will not listen. She is useless. She is now useless to 99.999% of men, and they refuse to listen. 90% of my videos are goofing on women for their bad choices. And 10% of my video is telling women to stop being your bad choices so I don't have to keep goofing on you. Because that's what society's doing right now. And I'll show you the aftermath of this stuff on social media. I've read some of the comments. There are people that are genuinely saying, why are women destroying themselves? And then we're the bad guys for saying, stop destroying yourselves. Men don't want you like this. Stop. It's the same thing why I keep telling men, stop simping. You enable this. Stop doing only fools. You enable this. Because these women are irrational, selfish, stupid, grown-up, tall children. And this is the same as a little kid turning to a parent and saying, Daddy, watch what I can do, and then running out onto the train tracks and getting decapitated. This is the same thing. Society, pay attention to me. Watch what I'm going to do. Bang! It's over. She's now a zombie. She's alive, but she's not.
I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic.
Here's the robotic part. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop that right there. Here she's saying it's robotic.
Like feeling so like robotic. Like by the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're going to do this. And like it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal things at all.
She checked out. Now remember, flash back to the beginning of this video. It's my fantasy. It's exciting. It's wonderful. This is what I want to do. It's empowering. It's all the wonderful things. Smash cut to it happening. It's robotic. I disassociated with my own body. Rape victims disassociate from what's going on to them. She checked out. So beforehand, it's exciting. This is my fantasy. I love this kind of stuff. Smash cut to, I don't want to be here anymore, but I've made promises to my fans and all these guys that traveled here, some of which from thousands of miles away, and I don't want to disappoint them. And so I'm just going to check out. What happens if you're on a date and you're with a woman and all of a sudden she says, I don't want to be here anymore. I regret this decision I made. She disassociates, she checks out, and then on social media, and then to her friends, and then to her family, and then to the police, she says she got raped. And I'm not saying that she's saying that. I'm saying a lot of women, that their fantasy and, oh, I want this and this is so exciting. Afterwards, it's, oh, I shouldn't have done this. The only difference is she did it 60 more times or 70 more times after she wanted to stop. And the craziest part is she did it with a smile on her face on video, because that's why after I saw this, that's when I clicked all the way through the other video, because I said, how bad was this checkout? Like, was she just laying? Nope. As far as the viewer's concerned, she's happy, she's excited, she's having a good time. That's what the camera saw. But in reality, she's gone. She's acting. And that's why so many people, the ones that didn't even watch the actual encounter, are like, wow, this is so sad for her and she ruined herself. But those that actually watched the video will realize something else. Oh my God, she acted so well. I thought she was excited and having fun and it was interesting all the way through. She totally had me fooled. She totally lied to me. And at the end of the video, you'll see where the actress comes back out. You'll see where she goes on like business as normal. And even the guy that did this, even the interviewer here that put this documentary together, even he was like, I'm shocked. Like, she just turned it back on and turned on a dime.
In my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys I remember. And that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know?
Out of 100 men, she remembered 5 or 6 or 7. How disassociated do you have to be?
But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know?
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
She's on the verge of tears still. This is the extreme example of women destroying themselves. This is the extreme. This is the extreme. But studies have showed relationship status, relationship studies, marital studies, divorce studies. They've studied this now since the 60s. The more partners a woman has, the worse her odds of staying married are. So these women that are in college, these women that are partying, these women hitting the clubs, these women cheating on boyfriends, these women that are having the side affair, they're all damaged goods. And that's what makes everybody so angry at channels like mine when I do these videos, as they say, they're not damaged goods. They're a perfectly functional, they're fine, and you're just incel massage. No, they're damaged. This is the hyper end of this. But statistics show they're all damaged to some degree. And then, again, we're almost there. We got about a minute to go. And then in the end, they turn around like everything's fine. Nothing to see here. I'm happy and I'm excited and I'll get over this and I'll move on. And they'll repress it. She already doesn't remember 95 out of the 100 dudes she was with. They don't exist. They're a blur. This is the nightclub scene, the bar scene, the college scene, where all these women are just hookup after hookup after hookup for self-validation or trying to catch the right guy, or it's all damage. It's all damage. It's all there.
When I decided to start making this documentary, I wasn't too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it all. I thought perhaps in years to come she may look back at this day in sadness.
Okay, for those of you just listening, I want to talk about this right here. He gets up to walk away.
Upset at the end of it all.
And she's bawling in the arms of her friend. This is not normal. This is somebody that is very, very damaged. This is the way you react when you've had something done to you that you did not want. For example, a little snuggle struggle. This is not a healthy individual. This is damaged for life.
I thought perhaps in years to come she may look back at this day in sadness, but not so instantly afterwards. She had stressed to me throughout my time with her how excited she was for this challenge and how this was her fantasy, so to see her so visibly upset at the end of it all was really sad. But my confusion was only added to in the days following our filming with Lily, as she announced to her fans that in February of 2025, she would be sleeping with 1,000 men in a single day to break the world record.
Last week I did 101 guys. Now this was just the warm-up, because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys.
Maybe what we witnessed that night was just someone overwhelmed with emotion after completing such a monumental challenge. Or maybe we saw the true toll this career can have on a person.
I think he's got a great summary. That's literally the last 5 seconds of the documentary. You know, you heard her say, last week I just finished 100 dudes, and upcoming in February, I'm going to be doing 1,000. She only waited a week to do her promo for the 1,000 guys. You're with me right here on video documentary, her and the damage it did to her. The damage it did to her psyche and her emotions. She was torn up. She disassociated. It turned robotic. She doesn't remember any of the guys. She's crying in the arms of her friend. And then within 7 days, she comes out and says, I'm going to do 10 times the number of guys I did that night. With a smile on her face and a cheeky little giggle as she posts her next promo video. I want you guys to especially remember something out of this video, if nothing else. This video's not about Lily Phillips. Ironically, it's not about Lily Phillips. It's the fact that women today are going out and they're hooking up with top 10 and 20% men. They're having a good time. They're sleeping with these guys. They think that they're going to get this awesome guy, and then he never calls back. And so they do it again with a smile on their face and excitement and living the best life. My day working for Google, and they show eating these fruit sorbets. And, you know, it's such an easy, wonderful life. And then they go out and get smashed by a Chad. And the next day, I'm telling you right now, the next day they're waking up like her. Sad, crying. What am I doing this for? I don't feel good about myself. I don't even remember that guy's name. I had too many drinks. He never called back. It's happening again and again and again. The only way these men find me attractive is when they can sleep with me. And then after they've done it, away they go. But they go out with a smile on their face. They get on the dating apps. You ask their phone number in a coffee shop, and they tee-hee and giggle, and you get that number, and you think, this is going to be my next girlfriend. But the reality is this is a vast, not to this extreme, mind you. Not to this extreme, mind you. I'm not saying that. This is a large percentage of women today. All the women that are screaming that if a man cares about body count, he's an incel or a loser, or he can't get his own girl. This is why we talk body count. This is the nuclear apocalypse of body count. But it's going to do damage. And either that damage lingers with them forever, and they can never pair bond, and they can never be in a good relationship, and they will never be a good girlfriend for you or a good wife or even a true friend. I don't think this person could even be a true friend to you. They're either that, or if they genuinely feel no remorse, if they genuinely feel fine doing this kind of thing and getting the money and having the fame for letting people do this to them, if they genuinely feel zero remorse, they're a psychopath. And I really mean that. They're a psychopath. They have no soul. They have no self-value. They have no self-worth. They're dead inside. What you see here is a woman that's no longer among the living. She's breathing. She's walking about. She's smiling. She's promoting her work. She's sleeping with dudes. She probably goes out with her friends and has a laugh and a chuckle, and everything seems normal. But as far as anything goes of this woman being able to love somebody, care for somebody, be a good partner for somebody, hell, even care about herself, she's gone. She's gone. I don't know how long she's been gone, but we got a window into her soul during this video. I don't think there's any coming back from that. I really don't. And as far as these other things, let me just share the rest of this here. You know, she's now going to attempt to do 1,000 men, and this is from just a few days after her video of 100 dude dropped. And if you don't believe me that all women are having some serious issues, I'll just wrap it up with this, because I promised I was going to mention this. They found, now the guy that ended this CEO's life here in the United States here, the United Healthcare or whatever the company's name was, women are already seeking out his dating app. Now remember, he literally just got arrested for ending somebody. Granted, you can say, I'm glad he, and glad he did it. I don't like what he did it, whatever. But here comes the posts already. This they say, he was found. This is what he said. They shared his picture, and this is what women are sharing. No lube, no protection, all night, all day, missionary, cowboy, reverse cowboy, doggy, backwards, sideways, on the bed, on the couch, bent over the kitchen counter, by the fireplace, against the wall, in the shower, on the floor, in the basement, against the window. All the places, all the things with this guy. Why? Because he's a picture, and he's a killer. But that's not the only one. I could go on. He's hot and an activist, 3,000 likes. And on. Quick, what prison's he going to? I need to start scheduling conjugal visits. And on. I would take 3 back shots any day from Luigi. And on. And on. Reply after reply after reply after reply. When men say we're not dating anymore, when men say I don't trust women anymore, when men say I don't find women attractive anymore, when men say all these things to society, or I don't trust marriage, or I don't trust divorce, when men say all these things, society thinks men are shallow. When I look at this picture, and I know who this is, because if you showed me this picture and say, would you find this woman attractive? My answer would be yes. Yeah, I find her attractive. I don't think she's unattractive by any means. When you say this is Lily Phillips, and I know what Lily Phillips did, would you say this woman is attractive? No, this woman's gross. I wouldn't touch her with a 100-foot pole. I wouldn't want to breathe the same diseased air she breathes. I would never trust her around children. I would never introduce her to my family. I would never put her in my circle of friends. And when women hear this, they say men are pigs, that we're just sad, lonely, butthurt incels. But the irony is, men say, I don't like women like this because we have standards, because we hold the people that are in our lives and the people we want to associate with to a higher standard. The men that you call pigs, the men that you call dogs, ironically, are the ones that actually still have standards, the ones that have certain expectations out of the people in their lives, the ones that won't crawl into the gutter. So for everybody out there that gets this all twisted and come and either hate on men like us or hate channels like mine or whatever, all we're doing is holding women accountable and holding them to a higher standard than they hold themselves. And as they yell and rant and hate on us for doing so, ironically, all we want is better women. All we want is better society. All we want is women that we might actually find dateable someday. That's the irony in all of this.